Alright guys, today we are going to simplify complex numbers. Remember your answers need to be in the form of a plus bi, where a is your real number and b is your imaginary, and I squared is the same thing as -1. Okay, let's start by simplifying. So if I had -3 plus 6i minus -2 plus 5i. If this was my problem, the first thing I'd want to do is distribute the number in front of my parentheses, so my -1. I'm going to keep everything out in front still. Notice there's plus signs, so I'm not multiplying anything else through. Negative times -2 is +2, and negative times 5i is -5i. Add your reals. -3 plus 2 is -1, and 6i minus 5i is -i. That's very different than when you multiply 8i times 10i. Well, I multiply my coefficients. 8 times 10 is 80, and I times I is I squared. We remember that I squared is -1, so I'm going to replace I squared with -1. So I really have 80 times -1, which is -80. Similarly, if you had like 15i squared, you'd want to break this into 2 and do 15i times 15i, and then multiply your leading coefficients. So 15 squared is 225. I squared, and then I know that I squared is the same thing as -1, and -1 times 225 is -225. If you had a problem that looked like this, and it said 5 minus 6i squared, I'd want to break this guy into 2. 5 minus 6i times 5 minus 6i, and then distribute. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times -6 is -30. Bring down the I. Then I distribute here. -6 times 5 is -30. Bring down the I. -I squared. Okay, then we simplify. We still have our 25. -30 minus 30 is 60 i's. And then this changes. I squared is the same thing as -1. And -1 times 36 is -30. Combine my two reals. So 25 minus 36 is going to give me -11 minus 60i. Okay, let's see. Oh, if I had a problem that looked like this, imaginary piece. So I'm going to rewrite this. So this is really -4 times -1 times 112, all in square roots, times x to the 6. So these guys are all getting multiplied. Keep my -4. My my square root of -1 is going to become I. My square root of 112. So let's factor tree that. 112 is the same thing as, well, 4 times 28 is 112, and 4 can be broken up into 2 and 2, and then 4 and 7 make 28, and 4 can be broken up into 2 and 2. If I hadn't have broken these up further, if you notice, I have a pair of 4s, and then here, when I would take out a 2 and take out a 2 and multiply, I would get 4 as well. So I'm just going to stop here with my 4s and not break it down. One of my 4 goes out and the other 4 goes away. I'm left with 7 in my radical. Again, if you want to use the 2s and the multiply, go ahead. So I'm bringing out my 4 to get multiplied as well. And then my x's. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want pairs of x's. 1 pair. 3 exact pair of x's. That means one goes out, the other goes away. One goes out, the other goes away. One goes out, the other goes away. So we're left over with 3 x's, so x to the 3rd goes out. The rest are gone. I don't have any left over. But I do have this leftover 7, so at the end, radical 7. We need to combine this and rearrange because this is sloppy. Multiply your coefficients. -4 times 4 is -16. Then put your variable next, and then your imaginary, followed by your radical. Oh, here's another one. Let's do, sorry, I want you to still be able to see it. Negative 3 times the square root of negative 5 times negative 6 times the square root of negative 5. Okay, you do know that two radicals multiplied together is that same number without the radical, but negatives are slightly different. So what we're going to do is we are going to just multiply underneath the radicals first and then go from there. And that will help your answer become correct. So we have our coefficients we can multiply. Negative 3 times 6 is negative 18. And then underneath your radicals, you're going to multiply. Negative 5 times negative 5 is a positive 25. Then we have negative 18 times 5. And we have a total of, whatever that is, 90 negative. There's your answer. Okay, let me look for more. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to do one more with you. Let's do negative 11 times the square root of negative, 38. It's 2 times the square root of, let's go with 18. Okay, multiply your leading coefficients. Negative 11 times 2 is negative 22. And then multiply underneath. So negative 38 times 18 is negative 684. Okay, so we have negative 22 times negative 1 times the square root of 684. And we're going to break this up into some smaller factors. 684 divided by 16 is not pretty. Oh, sorry. I'll show you. 684 divided by 16. So 684, let's just divide by 2 then. 2 is 324. Maybe we could divide by 8. No. 324 divided by, oh, here we go. 12. I just want my factor tree to be huge, so I'd like to split it up into smaller pieces. 12 is 6 and 2, which is 2 and 3, and 27 is 3 and 9, which is 3 and 3. Okay, so my pairs. So here are my leaves. I have 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3. Okay, so my pairs. I have 1, 2, 2 2s. Okay, so I know that I'm going to bring out a 2, and then 1 goes away. And then I have 1, 3, 2 3s. So 1 3 goes out, and the other goes away. And then I have 1 3 and 2 3s. So 1 3 goes out, and the other goes away. And I'm left over with just this 2. So that will be in my radical. The square root of negative 1 is I root 2. And then we're just going to multiply these guys together. So we have negative 22 times 2 times 3 times 3. And that is negative 396 I root 2. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions. Have a great day, guys. Bye.